you remember when it first died, September?
Now, a couple of videos ago I talked about the Rugrats Search for Reptar PS1 game, and Rugrats is considered to be one of the best Nicktoons. But it's not considered the best. That honour actually goes to Breadwinners. King Avatar, The Last Airbender. That is what is considered the creme of the crop. And I can't argue with that. For a kids TV show, I've never seen such bold storytelling. Well-rounded, likeable characters, with beautiful animation that still holds up to this day. Hitting themes of war, loss, and difference between resistance and terrorism. Going against what you stand for to bring peace to the world. And lying just so two sides can stop arguing. The Great Divide f***ing boggles me. But even then, the Avatar The Last Airbender is an amazing ride that I think everyone should take. In saying that, I think I'm due a rewatch. It's been 20 years since the show first aired, and it's been adapted a couple of times. We've got the M. Night Shyamalan films, which no one talks about for obvious reasons, and the Netflix show, which in my opinion is not bad so far. But today I'm here to talk about one of the video games that came from the show. And that game, which I believe to be the first one, is Avatar The Legend of Aang. Specifically the PS2 version. Now, I know there are other ports out there, so let me know in the comments if there are any differences to the PS2 version. Also, this game is called The Last Airbender in other countries. I'm pretty sure this is the same game. I mean, you can trust me as a good source of information, right? Anyway, let's get to talking about Avatar The Legend of Aang. For those who don't know, and if you don't, the show follows the adventures of an airbender named Aang, who is the most recent incarnation of the Avatar, master of all four elements. Frozen in ice for 100 years to find the Fire Nation war still rages on, and the only way to bring balance and peace to the world is to master all four elements, alongside brother and sister Katara and Sokka, whilst avoiding capture by the exiled Fire Nation prince Zuko. And that's just the beginning. And if you want to know more about Avatar The Last Airbender, just watch the show. You won't regret it, trust me. Anyway, let's start up the game. Are my eyebrows still there? Have I pissed myself? Seriously, every option selected in the main menu has something going off in your face. And almost every time I nearly shat myself. Stop it! Okay, let's start the game before I give someone PTSD. Let's get into the story and presentation first, because I think that's the most interesting part about this game. I'd say it's set around the end of Book 1, just before the start of Book 2. We start at the Northern Water Tribe, where Aang is mastering waterbending. Prince Zuko and the Fire Nation soldiers attack, bringing with them a machine that fires, well, fire.
Yeah, no shit.
A bit later, we find out it was created by a woman called Lian, and there are more machines where they came from. She breaks away from the Fire Nation and sends her machines to attack villages across the four nations. So yeah, whilst you get to fight the Fire Nation, they are not the main villains in this game. You don't even get to fight Zuko. That's how much he gets sidelined here. He even gets captured by Lian, and we don't even get to see it. And that is definitely not Bangarang. But with that being said, the story isn't that bad. It's got some good ideas here, and it presents itself as The Last Airbender pretty well. Its signature silly quippy humour is here. Yeah, not every joke lands, but the game did give me some chuckles. And it's helped along with the original cast members reprising their roles. And they're not just phoning it in either, they're giving it 100%. Brilliant. And the cutscenes are well animated as well. Decent character models, with Sokka being the exception. It looks like he's about to fall apart. Please, someone give him a vegan royale. As for Lian, well, she's not the most memorable villain. Her motive is a decent one, believing that all benders are the problem, saying that the Avatar is the reason for four nations and not one, and the way to bring them together is by destroying all benders. This is an interesting premise, something to dive into, but it's not fleshed out enough here. Turns out there were other benders working with her, and I would have liked to have known what their deal was here. And with that, we could have had a good couple of episodes worth of Avatar here, or a more rounded story to a video game. And that's exactly what this is, a video game. So that leads us on to gameplay. Even after what I said about the story and presentation, this is where The Legend of Aang really falls apart, and crashes, and catches fire. and put out with upper piss. Now, The Legend of Aang is an action-adventure game with RPG elements like leveling up your character's abilities and adding equipment to boost their stats, like health, chi, strength, etc. In the game, you switch between Aang, Katara and Sokka, each with their own weapons, techniques and abilities. Oh, and Haru's here too. He literally just joins your party out of nowhere. You just save some people at an Earth Kingdom village, and they're just like, oh, remember this guy from chapter 6, book 1? Well, tough he's yours now.
Now fuck off.
You can switch to Momo too to solve a few puzzles, and a special move I like to call the Michael Jackson. If I were to compare this to other games, that would be the X-Men Legend and Marvel Alliance games. The only thing that was incomparable is that those were good games. Let me explain. So you start out with just Aang, and you only have one attack button with 2 combo moves. And let me tell you, you're going to get real familiar with that X button. Then a bit later, you're fighting some wolves, and you gain enough experience to unlock Air Blast, which you can use by holding R1 and pressing the X button. See what I mean? Very familiar. So already at this point, I was worried that this was all the gameplay that was going to be.
I'm gonna tell him.
Don't you dare.
So yeah, you'll go on fighting more wolves and completing objectives that also give you experience and can extend your combo. Then the Fire Nation attacks, and these guys weren't exactly pushovers. You did have to guard and strike at the right moments. So it's not too easy at this point. Sokka will join you and add his abilities to the mix. But as I say this, the hit connection is all over the place. Sometimes you don't even know when a hit is connecting, or if it even registers. When an enemy gets knocked back like this, you think that would be an opportunity to strike, right?
No!
They are invincible up until the time they get back to their feet. It's very annoying and it drags the fight out for way too long. And it gets even more annoying as you progress. When you get to the next level, the enemies can really gang up on you, and I'll admit I did get a few game overs at this point, which I'm a little mixed about. Because, well, yes, it does give a bit of a challenge for a kids game, but at the same time, it should have tightened its strategy side of it, because it's quite hard to find the right moment to strike when you're being pummeled from all sides. So I just broke them up and passed them like that. So you rescue Katara, who was captured by Zuko, and now she joins you, adding her healing abilities. Then you head to the Earth Kingdom village, and pick up Haru after saving some Earthbenders. Now, it's around this point the game changes completely, because all the enemies from this point are pretty much no threat to you. You just keep attacking them till they fall down, and you're not even overpowered at this point. But with all your party here, the numbers add up, and the baddies barely even damage you, whether it be them being too weak or the items you equipped are overpowered in defense. Either way, they are a breeze more or less. And even if they manage to chip your health bar, Katara will eventually get the group heal ability and restore us back to full health, providing that she had enough chi. That's if the health bar doesn't regenerate first, because outside of battle, your health and chi regenerates. So you could go into every battle fresh as a daisy. When it came to using these characters, I mostly stuck with Aang and Sokka. Haru was useful for some parts, but I barely used Katara. Not because she's bad, the fact that she can heal makes her a good one. I just thought I'd go with other characters that have the strongest attacks, and Katara would just heal us automatically without me having to control her. So that's one thing less to worry about, and I gave her the equipment that gave her the most chi, so she could do that. So I pretty much had my strategy nailed. The only time I had to use her was when I had to open up a pathway ahead, or reveal a secret chest, by doing a button prompt minigame. Which is shit. I could have played around with other characters to shake things up, but in my opinion, it all feels the same. And that makes the gameplay so f***ing boring. It's repetitive, tedious, clunky, and a downright f***ing slog. No matter what enemy you're facing, you are tapping the X button to win. What you see on screen may look exciting, it isn't really if you look at what I'm doing. The other thing I can't stand is the backtracking. Apart from the main objectives, you have side missions, so you better hope you start a bunch of them in that one place and hope you're going in the same direction. Otherwise, you'll be going back and forth along the same path and feel like you're going insane. And I might add, with barely any music. And out of the side quests I did, most of them were fetch quests. In fact, A lot of the main quests are fetch quests. One of them was getting a weird paste for Boomy.
Ah, that's better. My lips were so chapped.
Did we just spend all that time fetching you lip balm?
Yeah, that might have made me giggle, but at the same time, this game is so...
You stupid, stupid bastard!
And what makes it even worse is that the enemies respawn.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So not only will you be going back and forth, you'll be doing a lot more... Then I got to a point where I was just like, f it, I'll just sneak past them. Oh yeah, you have a stealth mechanic in this game too, and that is to turn invisible.
Done!
I forgot the chapter where Aang goes to Hogwarts and Nick Harry's invisibility cloak. This is so f***ing stupid, it really is. And it's not exciting starting these quests either, because all the interactions with NPCs are just text based, so there's no life here. Whoa, that's a bit forward, isn't it, Aang? And are you literally planning to blow this Elmere away? And the only dialogue you get is outside of that, and it's mostly played for laughs.
Whoa, my life just flashed before my eyes.
Anything interesting?
Not really. I think I left a lantern on this morning, though.
You really should get out more.
Also, you can buy equipment and items from traders, but I don't think you need to do that, because the best gear is found on your travels anyway. The abilities you can use may sound cool, and some of them might be useful to begin with, like abilities to stun enemies, but the ones you use for protection are useless and look incredibly stupid.
What the fuck was that?
And here's the kicker, when you get to Aang's tornado attack, you're more or less unstoppable. It's so overpowered and it deals damage without knocking them back, and they go down in seconds. It's ridiculous, but it's better than just going... There are boss battles too, and they suck. Mainly it's just wait out their attacks for an opening, and then
Keep gaming.
there are other Avatar related things here. They're not really worth finding, even if you run into the guy with the cabbages, meeting characters from the past, finding spirits and going into the spirit realm, or fighting creatures from book 1 like the canyon crawlers, thinking that'd be exciting, but it's just... The other guy got bored, so I'm taking over for him. Look, I'm an Avatar fan, but I'm not a fan of The Legend of Aang. Even though the story has some interesting parts with good presentation, in my opinion, it's not worth playing this game for. With combat that is lackluster, slow and overpowered, with tedious side quests and backtracking. This game is no fun to play and it's a soul draining experience. And it made me really want to turn it off and never come back. But for the sake of this video, I managed to push through to the end.
He's a saint!
And I can see they were going with the kids first RPG thing, but that's partly why this game is so rough. I think it should have been a straight up action adventure with basic and heavy attacks, and have kids learn cool combos, whilst keeping some of the cool bending skills. That would have kept them engaged in my opinion, but it was not to be. I know there are other games out there, so I might give them a go in the future. But right now, I'm off to find an iceberg and freeze myself. And I'm not joking either, it's f***ing boiling today. And that was my review of Avatar The Legend of Aang on PS2. But what do you guys think? Did you play this game? Who's your favourite Avatar character? Or do you have a favourite Avatar video game? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Comment down below and let me know, because I would really love to know. And that's about everything for today, my friends. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, make sure you like. If you really like what you saw, make sure you subscribe. And if you love what you saw, make sure you share it around too. And follow me on Facebook, X and Instagram. I've been Titch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.